It has been an extraordinary morning. And now it feels like we've said that quite regularly since, 2015 or so. But today is shaping up to be explosive by anyone's standards. As we speak, MPs are holding a debate in the chamber and later will vote on whether to refer Boris Johnson to the Privileges Committee to investigate whether he deliberately lied to the House over Partygate. Now that could theoretically result in Johnson being found in contempt of Parliament, potentially leading to suspension or even in extreme cases being expelled from the Commons permanently. Now at this point, whether that happens is a slightly moot point. Labour's motion specified the investigation won't even kick off until after the Met investigation completes, and that could be months away. But the big risk for Boris Johnson now, who is out of the country, by the way, on a trip to India, is that if MPs are seen to vote to block it in any way, they will be hammered for it at the ballot box. Campaign leaflets will tar them with his brush right up to the next general election in 2024. And party managers have been increasingly concerned that even a three-line whip wouldn't convince Tory MPs to put their reputations on the line in order to save the Prem from embarrassment again. Now last night the government tabled an amendment which would have kicked the whole thing into the long grass. It would have prevented the vote even taking place until after the Met inquiry and the Sue Gray inquiry publish their reports, and coincidentally after the local elections and probably the Wakefield by-election which is coming up. But this morning, 20 minutes before the debate was supposed to start, the government pulled their wrecking amendment and cancelled the three-line whip, allowing Tory MPs to have a free vote on the original motion. Now, Number 10 said this morning that the amendment was only ever intended as a technical change. They wanted to make sure that the Sue Gray report was specified in the motion. And they've said this morning that they are now content that is going to be the case. Even if it's not in the wording of the motion, they're now content that the process won't start until after Sue Gray has published her report. Now, they won't say what has made them content overnight, but this morning they've said they're not pressing ahead with the amendment that they briefed to journalists last night. Now, an alternative explanation is that overnight the whips counted the number of Tories leaving Westminster with wheelie suitcases on their way to their constituencies, ready to defy the whip and abstain on the motions today, potentially allowing them to pass without opposition. And by lunchtime, the whips were even reportedly telling those MPs who did stick around that they can just go home now. Now, today was also extraordinary because of some of the language used in the House of Commons. Usually, famously, MPs aren't allowed to call each other liars or accuse each other of deliberately misleading the House. Any misleading of the House has to be inadvertent. But given that the whole debate today was about whether Boris Johnson deliberately misled the House, those rules have been relaxed. So there followed several hours of dozens of opposition MPs calling the Prime Minister a liar. Even those MPs that decided to moderate their language said that he had deliberately misled the House. Meanwhile, some of the few Tory MPs who haven't skipped town already were in the House of Commons giving, let's face it, quite half-hearted defences of the Prime Minister. But the Prime Minister is going to come home from India to find that he no longer has the support of even the most Brexity of Brexiteers. Steve Baker, who used to lead the European Research Group, he was a relentless thorn in the side of Theresa May right up to the moment she quit, and a key ally of Boris Johnson during the Brexit years, has called for him to resign. And Baker isn't just one man, he's very influential in a wing of the party that Boris Johnson relies on for support. Now, Steve Baker has been a little bit cautious in his support of the Prime Minister over the last few weeks, but today is the first day he's come and said out loud that Boris Johnson should resign. In fact, he said he should have been long gone by now. And, of course, he did so in a very Steve Baker way. With a biblical reference, he said he feels very Ezekiel 7:3 about the whole affair. Now, I looked up Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 3, And here is what it says. The end is now upon you. I will unleash my anger against you. I will judge you according to your conduct and repay you for all your detestable practices. And with friends like that, who needs enemies?